In the intricate dance of Indonesian politics, words are rarely just words. Statements from seasoned political figures often carry layers of meaning. They can be trial balloons, strategic feints, or the opening salvos of a larger campaign. Observers must learn to listen closely, to discern the intent behind the pronouncements. What appears as a simple suggestion might, in reality, be a carefully crafted maneuver. This is the nature of the game, where perception and positioning are paramount. Every public utterance by an influential player can ripple through the political landscape, forcing others to recalibrate their own strategies and responses. The stage is constantly being set for the next act. Recently, a significant murmur emerged from the ranks of the United Development Party, or PPP. Muhammad Romahurmuziy, widely known as Gus Romi, floated a rather intriguing idea. He suggested that Anies Baswedan could potentially become the chairman of PPP. This was not a casual comment dropped in passing. Gus Romi, despite facing legal challenges in his past, remains a highly influential voice within the party. He often serves as an informal, yet potent, ideological and tactical spokesperson. Therefore, when Gus Romi speaks, particularly on matters of party leadership and direction, people listen. His words have consequence and are designed to provoke thought and discussion, a goal clearly achieved this time. This suggestion involving Anies Baswedan is being widely interpreted as a deliberate strategic move. It is far more than an idle thought. Political analysts see it as a sophisticated piece of communication. It is also viewed as an ideological maneuver. The underlying objectives appear to be twofold. Firstly, it aims to subtly shift the existing power dynamics within PPP itself. Secondly, it seeks to reshape or at least test public perception of the party. It's a bold play, designed to see how various factions and the wider electorate might respond to such a significant potential change at the helm of one of Indonesia's oldest Islamic parties. The immediate purpose of Gus Romi's statement seems clear: to test the waters. How will the general public react to the notion of Anies, an external figure, leading PPP? Perhaps more crucially, what will be the response from within the party itself? Loyal cadres and long-serving members might have strong opinions. Such a proposal can act as a catalyst, revealing internal support for change or deep-seated resistance to it. It allows the party's current leadership to gauge the appetite for potentially transformative decisions. This is a way of sending a signal that PPP is seriously considering its options for survival and revival in the evolving political arena. The United Development Party, or PPP, carries a significant historical legacy in Indonesian politics. It was established in 1973. This formation was not a voluntary coalition of like-minded groups. Instead, it was the result of a forced merger. 4 Islamic parties were compelled to unite under the New Order regime's policy of simplifying the party system. For many decades, PPP stood as one of the primary vehicles for political Islam in the country. It represented the aspirations of a substantial segment of the Muslim electorate. The party's Kaaba symbol became deeply ingrained in the political consciousness of its supporters, signifying a connection to Islamic identity. However, this storied past now contrasts sharply with PPP's current challenging circumstances. The party has been grappling with a noticeable decline in its electoral fortunes over recent election cycles. Most alarmingly, PPP failed to meet the crucial 4% parliamentary threshold in the last 2 general elections. This failure means the party does not hold any seats in the National House of Representatives, or DPR. For a party with such a long history and a previously strong base, this is a profound crisis. It represents a significant loss of direct political influence and a warning sign about its future viability if trends are not reversed. This sustained electoral decline has, quite understandably, triggered urgent and serious discussions within the party. The leadership and its members are acutely aware that PPP is at a critical juncture. continuing on its current trajectory could lead to further erosion of its support and eventual irrelevance in the national political scene. Therefore, the consideration of bringing in external figures to lead and potentially revitalize the party is no longer a fringe idea. It is now part of a mainstream conversation about survival. The party seems willing to explore unconventional paths to reclaim its position and appeal to a new generation of voters. The specific mention of someone like Anies Baswedan as a potential leader stems directly from this pressing need for renewal. Anies is not a traditional PPP cadre. He comes from outside the party's established internal pathways to leadership. However, he brings a different set of assets. He possesses national name recognition and a distinct political brand. The hope within some PPP circles is that an external figure with his profile could attract voter segments that the party currently struggles to reach. This includes younger voters, urban Muslims, and those who identify with political Islam but are not aligned with traditional party structures. It is a gamble, but one born out of necessity. Anies Baswedan's journey in the public sphere is multifaceted, marking him as a distinctive figure in Indonesian politics. He is not a product of the traditional cadre system of any particular Islamic political party. Anies Baswedan currently does not hold a formal political office. For a politician with his level of national recognition and ambition, securing a political platform or vehicle is essential for future electoral contests, particularly looking ahead to 2029. PPP, with its established albeit struggling party machinery and historical Islamic identity, could offer such a platform. The potential alliance is being viewed as a symbiotic one. Anies gains a party, and PPP gains a nationally recognized figurehead with a distinct voter appeal. Should Anies Baswedan indeed take the helm of PPP, the party leadership clearly anticipates a range of significant benefits. The foremost expectation is that his national profile and unique appeal would attract new voter demographics. This includes urban Muslim voters, who may have drifted away from PPP's more traditional image. Young voters, often drawn to dynamic and articulate leaders, represent another key target group. Furthermore, Anies could potentially galvanize sympathizers of nonpartisan political Islam, individuals who are religiously engaged but not necessarily loyal to existing Islamic parties. The overarching objective is to dramatically improve PPP's electoral performance and, crucially, to surpass the 4% parliamentary threshold. However, this potential leadership transition is fraught with considerable challenges and inherent risks for both Anies and PPP. Strong internal resistance from long-serving PPP cadres who may feel sidelined or view Anies as an interloper is a very real possibility. Such resistance could hamper efforts at genuine party reform. There is also the risk of public perception. Both Anies and PPP could face accusations of political opportunism, a marriage of convenience rather than a union based on shared long-term vision. Another significant danger is that Anies's leadership might be effectively co-opted by the party's entrenched old guard, resulting in superficial changes without deep, meaningful transformation. The prospect of Anies leading PPP would undoubtedly send reverberations throughout the Indonesian political spectrum, particularly impacting other Islamic-based political parties. Competitors such as the National Awakening Party, or PKB, the Prosperous Justice Party, or PKS, and the National Mandate Party, or PAN, would be closely watching. Anies's proven appeal, especially to segments of the urban and conservative Muslim electorate, could potentially draw voters away from these established parties. This could intensify the competition for the Muslim vote, forcing these parties to reassess their own strategies, leadership, and outreach efforts in response to a revitalized PPP under new leadership. Ultimately, the success or failure of an Anies-led PPP would carry broader implications for the trajectory of political Islam in Indonesia. It could signal a significant shift, perhaps towards more personality-driven politics within Islamic parties, where the appeal of a charismatic leader overshadows traditional party loyalty or rigid ideology. It might also reflect a growing trend, hinted at in the 2024 elections, where pragmatic considerations of electoral gain and access to political patronage become increasingly dominant for religiously affiliated groups. Whether this potential alliance leads to a genuine resurgence of inclusive political Islam or simply a new configuration of elite interests remains a critical question for the future.